so soon? Oh, AI should produce more content. That's it's live. Okay, so modern legislative tracking tools enhance transparency, accountability, and citizen engagement. And they all help to ensure that Parliament's work remains visible, verifiable, and participatory. These are key indicators for measuring strong democracy. And that's how the people will love us and change the reputation they have of our Parliament. Thank you very much.
Oh, that clap of thing should be better because we've learned so much within a short space of time. You know, most of us always ask, what is actually done in legislation office? If that office exists, then what is the relevance of legislative drafting office? But today he has demystified that. He took us through the functions they perform in that particular office. But because we'll be taking the second one, we would have asked questions, but please let's reserve our questions because this issue of cross-referencing, then the marking, anytime you meet them, they say they're marking. So we reserve them the questions. He took us also through the digital tools that's likely to be employed. That is, if it's adopted by the House. Then he looked at the importance of the digital tools, and we also took us through the danger associated with it and how to manage that danger. He talked about the big tracker and what it contains, the modern tools for tracking and the best practices in legislative tracking tools. Let's give it to him again. This is a whole lot that we've learned, and I believe we want to reserve our question. We'll be taking the second person in. The second presentation. Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. Yes. So as stated by our boss, we want to take the question before the second presenter comes in. Please, I can see the hand up. Please, can you make the mic available? Okay. Oh, okay.
Good morning, Mr. Techi. That was a very comprehensive and very insightful. I've been in Parliament for donkey years. I can't even keep track. But the first time I'm hearing of the post-assent thing that comes with bills, I thought after the assent, then it comes to the library. No, you have to go to the national security for stamping and all that. So we learn things every day, and it's good that we are all here to learn. Second issue is that the markup, it's your department. It's a progression from what we used to do. Previously, there was only one man markup committee in Parliament. So the markup could only be done during the recess when Parliament was not busy. Mr. Jetro was the only one doing it. At least that's what I knew. So bills can, Parliament will pass the bill, but it will be there waiting for the markup before it goes to the President for assent. So this is a very big leap that we've talked. And your department, I was also, I didn't know so much goes on there. I thought they just sit there. Anyway, I had not really addressed to what happened, but then I'm quite impressed with what is happening there. And I see that the bills are going, very fast, and we are getting our laws. What were the current practice of certificate of, agents that's going with the bills? How do you come in? Like, how does it affect your work in any way? Because you have to be on your feet all the time. The second is that the digital tools that you intended, how many of them do you use in your office? You gave out five digital tools. Do you, are we using any of those tools currently? Mm-hmm. So our bosses must be on the here to provide. Thank you. Okay, and we used to have these monitors at our corridors and offices that will show the stages of bills and all that, meetings and all that. So, I don't see them anymore. So, if it can be revisited so that we can get to know, we can get to know by passing, by just see what the bills, what stages the bills are, and all that. That's all that I have to say. So, very, very comprehensive presentation. Thank you.
Most grateful, sir. Madam.
Please, because of time constraint, let's try and then keep the questions short so that we can move on to the next.
So,
please,
yeah, I have the next question here. So you were talking about the cleaning up of bills, which is done by your office in collaboration with the Legislative Drafting Office. In this case, can't you bring in the renewing committee at this stage, since the amendments were proposed by members and were taken on the floor? Because somebody might think you have changed something he had wanted to be inserted in the bill, but it was not well captured. So I was saying if you could be done with the renewing committee. Thank you so much.
Oh. Okay, then we'll take one more please.
Yes, how do we handle misinformation around the bills? Example, the cybersecurity bill that's going online. How do we handle misinformation around that?
Okay, maybe the final one, please, the final one.
Okay, sir. The process of assigning act numbers to bills, is this sequential, so that the first bill that gets passed is 1 and the second bill that gets passed is 2, or how and then the second question is, given the fact that nowadays you can just issue simple instructions to AI tools and it will generate a whole bill for you, how do you see the future of legislative drafting as a field of study in law?
Can I take them? Thank you very much. And let me attempt your question in that order. Yes, what's the future of legislative drafting if AI can do it? AI will give you a result that you can't take it away for now, because it will just use whatever exists and put together. We have context. Context is very important in lawmaking. So the system that we have generated, which is controlled by the Constitution, AI may not have that capacity. So it will just give you anything at all that may even be unconstitutional. So you need, as we said, AI is an assistant. It has not come to replace human effort. So you need to verify. AI can give you, let's say, the structure of a bill, which you can take 2-3 days to, to come out with. But AI can do that within seconds, and then you take it from there. Okay, or you can get a sample generated and you do it. So let's say drafting is still a fantastic program you can always pursue. And this question, I'm sure when my senior has the opportunity, Madam Sena, she will throw more light on that, and you will love that place. Okay, so how do we assign act numbers? So in serial order. So since the Fourth Republic, we have been numbering them. So you see that when you see the last act number, that is reflective of the number of acts we pass within the Fourth Republic, and that is how it's done. So for us not to miss any step, we have written, let's say, the last 10 on our walls. And so when the last one comes, everybody will have to go and look at it and bring an answer. So when we get any problem, we know that we have to cross-check and all that. So that's how it's done. Misinformation surrounding bills and all that. So even it becomes scarier, even for bills that have been laid in Parliament. Remember the gold board bill? There was some viral information that the law, even when you want to wear golden jewelry, you needed, the approval of Samij and Fee, So I had to personally take it on and then educate people, my friends on Facebook about it, and this also my boss, we have had some disagreements, but we can do it in a certain way. You're not going to pose as somebody who is representing Parliament and educating them, but put the correct view there. A lot of people will read. Some of us, when we put something there, people go and read our views and they say we are satisfied. So there are some people that when you do it consistently, they know that whatever comes from you is something that you can rely on. So we can do that. But I think that the committees, the responsible committees, like this case, the Committee on Communications, they can just have a quick press soiree to deal with that, oh, we are expecting this bill, but it's not even going that far, and then just calm people down before they are engaged. Thank you very much. And then cleaning up of bills, why not involve winnowing committee? So at this stage, we are just reflecting the decisions of Parliament. So exclusively what has been done. So as far as possible, we want to limit the participation, because people come in and the temptation is to force things in. But when we go, we pay fidelity to the records, the votes and proceedings and everything. So this was changed. Let's track it, because the question will always be asked, did Parliament make this decision? So that's why we restrict. But like I said, we have a lot of lawyers, from our end, from legislative drafting, and then it has been fantastic. There's always an attempt to bring other people in, but this is why I said that we should demonstrate our capacity as Parliament to do it. We don't even need the Attorney General's office to do that. They have done their work. They are the lawyers for the MDAs. Lawyers for Parliament are here. The drafters for Parliament, sorry, they are here. Okay, so we do it jointly with them, and then it has been good so far. So Parliament should show capacity, leadership in that place, so that it's not like our work should be subjected to an external, verification. It's not right for even our mindset. Okay, so the marking up and how we deal with certificate of urgency treatment of bills. Yes, as you heard yesterday, it's not impacting directly on our work, but of course, it's impacting negatively on the public image. Okay, this is a time of open Parliament, inclusivity, and passing of bills. So if you rush bills through, and some of them you can see that from the demeanor of the ministers, they never intended the bill to be treated as a certificate of urgency, because the original intention is that they will go and gazette it. If the person had the initial intention to lay it under certificate of urgency, that will not have happened. But you see that they go and gazette it. It obtains maybe 2 or 3 days, and they come and lay it. So on the floor, you can even see somebody will prompt. I'm sure Honorable Dafiaoko, if I'm permitted to mention his name, he will prompt and say, are you laying it under certificate of urgency? Then you will say yes. You see, so it means that we are just roping a lot of things in. You see, Gold Board, there was an institution, PMMC, there already performing that role. So you can't tell me there can be that agency. Of course, if Parliament has to even deal with it, even a week we can do it. But at least open some sunshine on it. Let the people see that you are not rushing to do something, because they have fantastic ideas and good intentions. But how it's presented is very, very important. To the public, they are reading a lot of things into political decision making. So anything that will cause them to have doubts, we tend to, it tends to be problematic. So, but for our work, what we are unable to do per the standing orders, of course, that should create a natural exception for us, is that, the requirement to produce the amended version of the bills cannot be made before the final reading, because the process has been, put together and rushed. So that's not, so that I will not say poses any difficulty, but the difficulty is how, depth reflects in the work, and also how the public is engaged. Thank you very much.
Well, let's give a clap offering. That's a very comprehensive explanation. Then we are happy to have you and to take us through what happens in legislation and then educate us to be employed. We're so grateful. I think we want to take the next presentation. So, okay. Boss, yes.
Okay. Like that. I just have some few things for just clarification.
Yes, boss.
There was this one that you proposed, which I think is good, but let's look at the downside of it, which is some of the tracking that you are doing. And you talk about the issue of number of substantive amendments. That then becomes subjective. Because what would you describe as being substantive? And you also know by practice that sometimes when the bill gets to the committee and the amendments are many, the bill is withdrawn, the amendments incorporated, and then brought inside that it can speed up. So if you have that kind of thing, and you are using, so you can take maybe a bill that is just about 10 clauses or 10 or 5 clauses, and then you can see maybe 10 substantive amendments. Then you have a bill of, let's say, 100 clauses. But because the bill was withdrawn and the amendments incorporated, you realize that maybe you may not get any substantive amendment. And therefore, if a civil society group member or even the judiciary sees that they say, oh, Parliament didn't do a good job, look at this 100 clause bill, and there's not even a single amendment. So that may be the other downside, and something that we may have to look at in balancing the two things. The other one is, which I think you have to take with ICT, the bill tracking and then the public interaction. It should be something that at least the public should at any point in time be able to see. And I don't know whether the system that you are using, whether your sister departments and offices can easily have access, like legislative drafting, table office, and journals. And even the clerk's office and the deputy clerk's office, these are offices that wherever you sit, you should be able to know where it is. And if you can also liaise with ICT, whether that can be, sometimes it's easier when you have it as an app, rather than going to the website. So these are the few things I want to ask.
So, I mean,
This man, he will give you a thesis before he will.
Because can I forbid him from proceeding further? Because he's my junior.
The challenges is, I mean, and your limitations are quite
Sure.
few.
The originator.
Okay, so I saw your Excel spreadsheet,
Yes.
and then in your presentation, you sought to portray the Excel application as a database. I know bill tracking itself is actually a database software in itself, and I believe that is the vision of the legislation office. So I just want to commend you, but encourage you to move from the spreadsheet itself to a proper database, where it makes it easy for the queuing and code to be done, and bringing that dream of having a proper bill tracker at the legislation office. And also want to assure you that the LMS agrees with us and their money is ready for next year. So if you could also expedite it.
Wonderful. So I should have stopped you for my, at my own peril. That's great. So, boss has already given an indication. Boss, thank you very much. So on your 2 points, bills are withdrawn, and then how then do you count amendments? Boss, if you recall on the presentation, we said that the fees, one of the fees, when the bill is withdrawn, is indicated. And of course, the amendments would have been recorded already. So that system or our tracker will still show that so and so amendment was previously made at committee. Okay, so now maybe how do we even go beyond the floor so that we can capture all these? And then we have to also engage the public more. I'm sure that that's the good reason why the public affairs, the then public affairs department has been disintegrated into 3 to take care of that. Yes, so thank you very much for that. And then the folder, whether our system is shared with other departments. Yes, I think for now, quite limited. I think it's shared with ICT. I can't confirm that of the table office, but I think with the ICT office, we can extend the shared folder so that it can be opened, particularly to your office and others, so that you are the custodian of the floor. And so everything that drops there, you can better appreciate and say that, oh, this one, check before we get to the end. So that will be something we will do immediately. Thank you very much.
Ben, we are grateful so much for coming to give us a lot. I mean, what's happening in the legislation office. Because let's want to move on to the next presentation. Oh. We want to move to the next presentation, and it's going to be on training on AI-assisted transcription and real-time report writing in procedural stuff. If you look at what's happening in the sub-parliamentary reporting services, the sub-division, most of them incorporate AI in transcription and then report writing. And today we have in our midst the editor of debates, chamber reporting, to give us that presentation. Please let's welcome Adam Ijusu, Esquire, to give us the presentation.
Thank you, TG, the editor of editors. All right, so first of all, let me issue a disclaimer. I'm not an IT person. That's one. And the second thing is that AI is not Adam Idrisu. My name is Adam Idrisu, so, but the AI is not Adam Idrisu. So let's start that way. The few reports that I've written and meetings I've taken, I didn't have the benefit of using AI. I either use handwritten notes or shorthand. Who knows Pitman shorthand? Apart from TJ here, Pitman shorthand. That was senior is here. Pitman shorthand. So if it was Pitman shorthand, practice and procedure would have been something like this. Practice and procedure. So we are going to look at how AI can assist in transcription. Yeah, so this is the change right forward. How AI can assist in transcription and then in real-time report writing. But we'll be adding another bit, which is note-taking, because transcription is a bit different from note-taking. So when you are using AI for transcription, it means that it is post-event. Before you finish, the event has taken, the meeting has taken place, and then you've recorded it. You have the audio, then you will now play it back to get it transcribed for you. Then the second part is where the meeting is ongoing and you want transcripts. Then you use the AI to assist you with the transcript. So if you start some of the AI tools now, as I talk now, it will be transcribing for you. But I'm sure you'll get a very poor transcript because of my accent. You know, some of us went to LA. We pronounce the words as we remember it pronounced. We don't follow Indian phonetics. But if you have proper diction, if a person pronounces the word properly, the transcription will be great, and then you will have it. You can even have it summarized. Apart from the verbatim transcription, you can even ask it to summarize. Even in a meeting, you can even ask the AI to assist you to interrogate the presenter. So that's the beauty of AI, as I said, not Adam Idrisu. So we're looking at it. That's the outline after, because you won't see the outline in my presentation. So basically, AI assists us to, I may not be able to look on the board, I don't know, but so whatever I say, I assume it is there. Because I don't feel comfortable telling this way. So we are in a technological world. We cannot be left out as procedural officers. We need to also employ AI in our work, in our transcription, in our minutes, in our report writing, in the proposal writings. We should be able to use AI properly to facilitate our work. So, but the important thing you should note is that AI, it is just there to assist you. Don't turn it to a master. It is a servant. So whatever content is generated, my senior teaching mentioned that if you go and ask AI whether this country it requires a visa to travel to, AI says no. And you go to the airport, you will be disappointed. Let's be careful the way we use AI. We will see some places where AI actually failed. And if you remember, I think a week ago, a particular company lost some money because they used AI to generate a report. and presented it as if it was woman written. And then when it was found out, they lost money. They lost money. So let's not just use AI anyhow. It should be able to assist us to do our work, but it should not replace us. And if you allow it to replace you, then we may be thinking of redundancy. Because if AI, if we have 10 people and you are doing the same work and AI is helping you, then we should reduce it to 2 so that AI will come. So AI is to assist us, but not to replace us. Some parliaments have used AI. They have, so I'll start with the automatic transcription. So some parliaments use AI. Parliament of Ghana, as a parliament, has not formally adopted any form of AI for transcription. Has not officially adopted AI for transcription. So we don't have any, but I know there is some work done. I know that our service area, the deputy clerk is aware of it. We are trying to procure some, and we are in the process. But so whatever some people are using is their own arrangement. Officially, Parliament of Ghana has not adopted any AI-assisted transcription to app or software. Okay, so I will not waste time on this one because we've already talked about them. There are some critical things that we need to consider as a country if you want to use AI. Okay, we have our own accent. Now, English is not just the American English or the American or British English that we know. We have Jamaican English. In fact, we have Ghanaian English. And you know the best of English is from our brothers, Nigeria. Okay, they have their own ways of pronouncing words. So, and then if you don't take care, if AI transfers for you, you cannot make head and tail of it. So depend upon the accent person. And then what we call code switching. Somebody speaking this language, then he switches to Dagbani or to Ether or to Ga. You see, you confuse the AI because you have set it that it's supposed to transcribe English. Now, words are coming that are Ga but fortunately, there are some words. I know in Dagbani there are some words, they are just as English words. Dagbani is, we say, kam means kamna, so it can easily transcribe it. And then there are a number of words. When you see wobbling, that's Dagbani, wobbling. So it can easily transcribe. But be careful if you don't say, if it is other words, because if you say kam means kamna, then go means, you see, that is where it gets wrong. So you have to be very careful. You have to be careful. So go means chama, you can imagine. So the accent is important. But the good news about AI is that it's able to train. It's able to grasp. For instance, if it transcribes for you and then you don't copy it off the platform, do the editing in there before you copy. So for instance, if you transcribe honorable members and the honorable is spelled fully, and then you reduce it to the HON there, the next time it will make it HON for you. It's very smart. It's not like a Ghana's controller and control general. So it's very smart. The system learns as you. But if you copy it onto a different software, like or app, or let's say you copy it to Word, and do the transfer, it doesn't know that you wanted some changes. But if it allows you to do the corrections there, and then before you copy, next time it will do as. So if it gets some names wrong for you, and you are able to correct them there, next time when they mention the word, the name, it will pick it for you. But we should also be aware, we should be concerned about data sovereignty and security. So Parliament is opening up. Our standing orders provides for, but there are some proceedings that will be kept behind the scenes. Okay, so we will still hold some meetings in camera. So you wouldn't want to upload such audio onto a system you are not aware of. That is why AI should be said that if you are adopting one, all parties should be involved. If you have an IT department, which we have, they must be they must advise us, oh, let's go this way. So that when we go there, they will know that, oh, when we put it there, our data is secured. But if you, on your own, go for a private one, the one, especially the freebies, we have something called free apps, and we have freemium. You know freemium? It's free, and then it will generate to premium. So, so it allows you, if you put it there, and then there's no security, you'll be surprised somebody will hack it somewhere. And then the Committee on National Security meeting that you attended alone, and then you listen to it, and then you use AI to transcribe. Somebody will listen to it in the other countries. I don't want to mention their names. And then it will no longer be national security. It will be a national scandal. May God forbid. So please, let us be very careful the way we use. And we are praying that our bosses will listen. So we must adopt AI. And I will not say adopt, we must adopt and adapt it to suit our purposes. So there are also ethical and legal considerations. I know, Ghana, Ghanaians are smart. Just like the way we watch Netflix. So when you research, they give you some free version. I know someone who has created, let's say, 20 email addresses. He uses for register. When the time passes, then you change the email address, register again. Pay small. So you end up having so many email addresses. So many email addresses. But if you have a corporate one, everybody will be using that one. And then it is available for all, very secured. And then there are also instances of the person doesn't want to be recorded. The person doesn't want to be recorded. Or the person wants to be forgotten. You see the way what is happening at public hearings. I have come there, I have given my life to serve public service, and I'm prepared to live at 60 years. I don't want my grandson or granddaughter to become 40 years, 50 years later to be listening to my voice or reading about, listening to my voice when I appeared before Public Accounts Committee 40 years ago. I have the right to be forgotten. Ghana, we've not yet gotten to those laws, but I think with time we'll get there, where somebody says that when I retire, I don't want anybody to have record about me. So these are all considerations that we have to take on board when we are considering audio, when we are managing audio files. And then who takes responsibility for the security of it? You are with Public Accounts Committee, Appointment Committee, which now the new block, local government. Then there is procedure, you have recorded it. IT has no blessing with the software you are using. You have gone somewhere, you put it there, and then the information is out. Who takes responsibility? Okay, so with the transcription, as I indicated earlier, the automatic transcription is easy. We will look at a number of them. We will look at, they don't pay me to advertise for them. We all know a lot of them. They've been disturbing us with adverts. We'll just pick a few. I'm not going to go through it, but the presentation will give you how to access it. How to access it. So that you can try some of that. I know you're already using some. We'll look at the first thing that I was able to come across. And I don't need to mention them, do I? So they are there, what they do, and then how to access them will be, we will share everything. But these are the first 6, and then these are the last 4. I know we didn't see one very nice one. What's the name, Kura? No, the other name. Awula Table. Awula Table is given a special space. Table Scout is given a special space. So I don't want to bore you by reading all this, but we'll make it on the platform. We'll make this available right after this, and then you can have access to it. I also add the text, the word text that went to it. I must also give credit to some of my officers who went through. I was just writing plenty, and double plenty. I got some 20-something pages, and I gave it to one of 2 of them so I'm an editor, but they are my staff. They edited for me. And I also got one person to also change it to the 9 slides. I told her that the slides look like her. So, so these are so what some of these I mentioned freemium. Some you use it for free, and then some you pay. All right. These are the prices. As at last week, because I don't know the exchange rate and all those, but as at last week, these are the prices. Definitely those that are free, the price will not change, will it? No. So these are, but this one is Google Docs, free. MS Word dictate to free. But MS Word is on the 365. You will not get it on your the old versions. And it's very easy, and it's very good because you can actually dictate, and then it will transcribe for you. So even Google Docs, you activate the dictate this thing, and then whilst you are talking, so you can attend a meeting, you have an idea what it is, and then when you are typing, instead of you striking the keys, TJ will say manipulate. Instead of you manipulating the keys, you can just read. Of course, you must be an enclosed office. If you are in an open office and you are reading, you'll be disturbing others. And then it will transcribe for you. Some you get some 30 minutes free trial, some 30 first 3 transcripts, and then the rest you have to pay, unless after 24 hours. Okay. So if you are a typical Ghanaian who believes that the most expensive one is the best, then ref for you. Otherwise, you can take the rest. So these are why is my slide going this way? So for live meetings, Alta may be one of the good ones. Whilst you are talking to transfer, you can also summarize, and then when you are even now when you are having Zoom or online meeting, Google Meet, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, it will be transcribing live for you. Microsoft Teams, one of the best one that flies. It's Fireflies. It helps with automatic live transcription. And when you finish, it will email you the transcript. But then those of you who like editing, you go with Trend. And then for personal dictation, as I mentioned, Google Docs, and then Microsoft Dictate. All right. This one, I will not waste time on it. Just give us the sequence, okay? But as one thing I would like to mention is that, as I said, they learn. The AI thing, that's the good thing about it. It learns very fast. So use it very well. And then you get the best of results. Okay, this is just a process of how to upload audio and then get a transcript. And as I mentioned, do the editing within, if it has some editing text platform, do the editing there before you copy. And if you don't do that, it will not learn. Next time it will still be making similar mistakes. Okay, so this is what I just indicated. All right. Now some parliaments have adopted a number of transcription or real world reporting things, and then they are there. House of Commons, I don't know. They have an inbuilt one, and they are using the same thing that BBC is using. When BBC are interviewing somebody, you see those things we call them subtitles or what, or like those ones. That's what they are using. We saw this one too in Canada, and other parliaments, they have their own. I believe, all right. But now let's talk about the challenges. Now, I warn that it should be what? A servant, not a master. So the English is not our language. So you will mention words like, if you say to seed, then it will say seed as in S-E-E-D. It will transfer for you. So if you are one that after just auto-transfer, you just take it like that. And when you are using AI, just take it off your mind. Don't say computer doesn't make mistake. Remember our first lessons computer, garbage in, garbage out. So, and then you mention Iyoko, then you say Yoko. It transcribes Yoko for you. You mention MPP, says MPP. And then see our whole increment cities. It will say cities. And we'll see a number of them. And then there are instances where the person is speaking, then I am speaking. When I finish and then somebody comes in, it will still be attributing it to me. So you have to be careful. You have to know when, especially committee sittings where there is banter. Questions are being fed left, right, center. And then you want to determine who speaks. You have to be paying attention. Otherwise, it will attribute the wrong contribution or words to the. It will attribute it to the wrong person. So be careful. And then AI is interesting. When the exchanges are hot, you see the text will come this way and go back, go. Then finally it will be waiting for them. Because it assumes that they are not making sense. So it will be waiting. So if you don't, that is where some critical points will be made. So if you don't take care and fill them in, you'll be surprised your report will miss that part. So you need to be careful about that. And then there are sometimes when you transcribe, then the jargons, some jargons that we use. If you see the house has adjourned CDG, then it will go and type something. What is that? To type sign a die, house adjourned, sign a die. And then you want to see you are acting ultravirus. Then you say ultravirus. So you can imagine you have such a thing in your, and then for name butchering there is very common because it is not used to our names. Okay, so you go and type the offensive stuff. Then it says what? So you can imagine if your report carries offensive. So what I did was I asked my colleagues and staff to give me their experience. So they just posted them there and we picked them from the contributions and that they made. So these are real time. These are not make-up things. We don't assume that they are what they experience. I thought I talk about you see the name butchering. The president's name is closer. The difference is that the Rahmani, which has drama, which has turned to Rahmani, but at least it's got the John and Mahaman right. Okay. Then the accent, the code switching that I mentioned too. If you are recording proceedings and Honorable John Japo say, "Ubu," in the chamber, I'm sure AI will say, "What is happening?" What is happening? So these are more examples. Rhino speaker to say rhino. You say, you know the way we say Mr. Chairman, they will say Mr. Chairman. So it will type out Chamberlain because it's assumed you are trying to call. If you say on our chair, you say on our chair. Because of our diction, other people addendum, it says other people I don't know. So you need to be careful. Otherwise, that we only look at offenses of, and the boss is so here, right? Navrugu Central, Nigungu Central. Then this one, the name, the whole thing didn't come. It's actually funny, but you are not Glacier man for the name that comes. Cape Coast is even better. I think there is Cape and then Court. Okay. Then Takoradi, you see what is there. The Central is trying to get a name for it. Okay. Then look at Amenfi South. You see, he's speaking. We have our own Amenfi. He's mentioning the other Western cities. Look at Swedru, Senior High. Yes. And then Atu what actually counts is Atu Fawcett. When you hear Atu Fawcett, the faucet as in faucet, that's what counts. And then James Kluje Aveji, he tries to get you a different name. I used to say Poor Man Committee, he used to say Poor Man Committee. So you need to correct these things, clean them up before you pass them. Otherwise, you'll be sending out gibberish. So please, let's be careful. It can actually help, but if you don't read through and just push it, because it is from AI, the embarrassment will be big. Now we are going to look at that's for transcription. So these are the note-taking tools. Okay, so the note-taking, these ones are live. So you see that some of them can do dual role. It can be for transcription and also for the note-taking. But these are for note-taking. As I said, for time, I will not go through them. Just after we finish here, to put on our pages, and then you can pick them. We'll put the two, the slides, and then the word version, so that you can have access to it. So I've mentioned the first time we saw this dragon. It was Dragon speaking. One of our senior colleagues, Uncle Joe, brought it and he was using it in his work. In fact, he was one of the persons who actually brought about some. He was old, but very tech-savvy person. He brought Dragon speaking. He actually went out and bought it and was using it in transcription. But he was also fast in typing too. I don't know why he was using it. But it is still there. So those of you who write a lot, if you want to write articles and books and you don't have typing speed, just get this one. You'll be reading it will transfer. If you can afford it, then you go with what? Microsoft Dictate or Google Docs, and then you are fine. So schematics and descriptions are also there. And as I said, but be careful. Always try to what? Read through. I talk about the ethical duties here. You have a moral responsibility to be responsible for your work. Don't just put in anything. And then the legal requirement for them, I don't want to go through them. Data protection, copyright matters, and procurement matters, and a whole lot. So I will not talk about all of them. But the point is that use AI with caution. I always give it a human touch. All right. So note that if you don't read through, you can get a very poorly transcribed poorly transcribed text for you, and it will be total embarrassment if your work gets to the floor and then the member will get up and say this thing that you are saying it happened at the committee never happened. Or happen on the floor, hands up, you have used some words which I never use. Please be careful. Especially those who take, there are other softwares that people use to edit documents. You put it there, it will rewrite it for you. Be careful. If you don't take care, it can change the whole thing. And then members of Parliament, they have ways of speaking. They are deliberate in the way they speak. So if you go and change it the way you want to change to suit your style, you are doing injustice to the text. And we are hoping that there will be a Ghanaian, if we work properly with IT department, they can get us a Ghanaian English version, or because some other countries they have Swahili and all those things. So we can get one that can really meet the Ghanaian context. So we are asking that there should be, we should conduct a pilot one. Either we start from the committees levels. Committees are not very busy. Then the very busy committees, then we move to the plenary session. Then we start using it. And then there should be the need to also train all officers. Procedure officers should be trained on how to use the AI, so that we'll all be at the same level, and then we'll get the best of it. And then we should develop, as I mentioned, a Ghana-centric one that will meet our requirements. And then we should get a very secure procurement regime that is very safe, that will not compromise our security. Thank you.
Oh, that clap, I don't know, because especially if you happen to work with a committee or a commission and they said your committee is a poor man's committee, I don't know how you will take it. I don't know how you even present that report to your boss. just because it did not check. Adi has taken us through a lot. He started with best practices in other parliaments. He mentioned UK, for instance, they have adopted it. He also said it shouldn't be a master. The AI should be a servant because we can train it and then adapt to our system. He mentioned how the danger associated with using AI without the human element. So you cannot rely on AI and said, okay, because AI is doing everything for me, the certificate that I've acquired from primary to universities and then the PhD, I should put it aside. I'll just put everything into the machine. And he mentioned the fact that if you input the document into the machine and it gives us a version, and you are sending the document out, and those who are the owners of that document decided to publish it without your involvement, how would you fare? So all these things are very important. And he also took us through the transcription tools, the reporting tools. And he talked about the ethical issues. And this is where we come in, because I remember when we entered the service, there was a time where we were taken to government secretarial school to learn about ethical leadership. Ethical leadership. So if you are giving all your documents to machine generated, so this guy is writing very well. I mean, all that. What is the ethics in the document? And so let's give a clap of it to him once again for such a wonderful thing. Colleagues, it's now time to ask questions. This AI is here. The only thing is that as an institution, we have not adopted it. Management has not actually adopted anything for us in terms of the AI to use. ICT, there are some pilot versions that are going around, but staff in one way or the other, in our work, we use them so that our final product will be fine-tuned. So the man is here, he has given us his presentation. If you have any question to ask in terms of using AI for transcription and then the report writing, please, this is the platform. We would like to take questions from you.
Thank you very much, and it was a wonderful presentation. My name is Peter. My question is built around the culture within Parliament. Generally, we're a bit conservative with how we change or adopt innovations, because apart from the interest to open up, there's also the need to protect how we do things, especially when we deal with very confidential information. So, looking at the mode by which innovations can be introduced in the workplace, one approach is that you can look at the needs. Let's say there's already a work system. If you take reporting, for example, there are various activities that people do. But then in doing it, you can bring in an innovation that will make it easier. Another way is to say, oh, there's a whole new discovery, or a whole new system that is trending, the hype. And AI is one of the most hyped technologies. So let's bring it, and then we introduce it into the system and just see how it will affect our work in terms of productivity, effectiveness, efficiency. So my question is, what is the approach here? Are we interested in saying, oh, AI is emerging, everybody's adopting it, so we want to bring it and then introduce it and see how it will change things within the reporting area, for example? Or we are coming from the perspective where we see there are people doing things, specific things. Procedural work is quite, strict in terms of procedure. But so and so areas can be improved if we introduce this technology. So that's the first question. Which approach would Parliament be more likely to adopt? The second one is the limitations of the technology. So those who follow updates, I think recently, about 2 days ago, I don't know how true it is, I've not verified it, but if I'm wrong, you can correct me. Meta, no, that's OpenAI, those who produce ChatGPT, say they will no longer make recommendations regarding medical or legal advice. So if you look at how the innovation pathway of technologies, first it comes with so much hype, then the realities begin to show. Then people now face the reality and they make changes. So I just want to know whether the kind of momentum we are going with adopting these technologies, how far are we looking at the impacts of AI on our own productivity? Because sometimes, with a little experience I have, if you have very high standards in terms of quality of reports or things like that, and you give an AI a prompt to produce a paper or a draft for you, and you really look at it, you realize that there's a deficit in terms of the quality. So what measures are we putting in place to ensure that in terms of quality, productivity, we are careful with how we roll out any AI interventions in the kind of work we do? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's clap.
Yes, any more questions?
I don't think.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. My name is S.O. Ankama, a member of the Parliamentary Press Corps. Sir, if there could be such lapses and challenges in the usage of AI, as you did mention that it led to the loss of money to one company and other challenges, how reliable then is AI? Thank you.
I can see that, yes, the David Director ICT is here, because I was even coming to him, because all these things that we are talking about, at first quelling in that, with that department, and they need to tell us what they are doing. Even if it's at a pilot stage, we need to be abreast with the information before we continue. It's very important.
Thank you. My name is Beric. I'm with the IT department. So, wonderful presentation, Alaji. I think that as a parliament, maybe this forum presents the right opportunity for us to look at AI policy and what we want to do. So that's the first starting point. We first need to have policies and guidelines around AI use and how much AI we want to use in our work. Now, AI is just a tool, like you said, and so there are several models. You don't have to use ChatGPT. You can build your own model. I think we've done that with Table Office for question management. So we're able to summarize questions. We're able to look at similarities in questions. So for instance, if a member has filed a question that has been asked before, it's able to tell you that this question has been asked. So I think that we need to discuss and engage and look at how much AI we want to use in our work, and then we can move forward from there.
Any more questions before we ask the presenter to answer the questions? Any more questions? Okay, Haji.
All right. Thank you so much. I believe I can speak. I hope to. Thank you. So Peter's question is about the approach to adopt and then the limitations of technology. So I think it's good that Deputy Director ICT just made the last intervention. What I've realized is that in this office, when you have opportunity, when you need a particular resource for your work, you have to write. So if you know that we need this pen to take notes, you have to write and then justify why you need the pen to take notes. Then it goes the true, you know, we all know the true. And then you go and be praying that it gets some audience. So when they get the audience, they say, oh, this person really needs this pen to write. Then they will respond. And then maybe a team will be set up to look into it and get you, maybe you will even look at this pen and maybe that other pen is even better. Then they will talk about procuring it for you. But because sitting at where our bosses sit, they may not know that you have these challenges. You, the user, you have to be proactive. And then you need to make a request. If you're also lucky, there are instances where instead of the bottom-up approach, our bosses will go and see something somewhere and say, oh, we can do the same thing in our parliament. That one is the easiest one because you are sitting somewhere and they came with a proposal. All they do is to get you involved, train you to use it. So if the easier one, which is the top bottom one, is not working and you need it, then you also go with the bottom-up approach. I agree that there are limitations with AI, and I think I just mentioned we have to use it with care, and I said we should try to humanize. And then the one you mentioned, like open AI, they have stopped GDP from giving medical advice and then legal because of the consequences associated. Because it can lead to drug abuse and all those. People are actually using it. They won't seek medical, as they just ask the questions, then to prescribe. And a lot of countries, and a number of countries, you cannot just go and buy medicine over the counter. But places like ours, people find ways of buying the medicine. And then for legal advice, you can put in a legal issue, and it can give you some advice that is different from your jurisdiction. It can give you a law that if you don't take care, you take it to court, you'll be embarrassed. And some countries, some lawyers have been embarrassed that way. They just take what AI gives them to court. And then the authorities that they've cited are irrelevant in the very particular jurisdiction. So definitely there are limitations to AI. Mr. Ankama, you asked about how reliable. Yeah. It's very reliable. I indicated that, and we all agree that it's about how you use it. It's just a tool, as mentioned. It's a tool, it's how you use it. If you want to cut this paper, it's easier done with a scissors or a blade. If you go and bring an axe to cut it, you are using the wrong tool for the job. Similarly, if you have a tree to cut and you go and take a razor blade, you will cut it. You will definitely cut it after 100 years. You will surely cut it, but that is not the right tool for it. So it is about using the right tool for the right job. And I will even ask that. You see, there is a blend. When I talk about the note taking, when you are at the committee, don't just say, talk about the reliability. Don't just say, oh, I have my note taker. Then so while the meeting is going on, you are on your Facebook or TikTok, and the meeting is going on. Then you come back, reliability, and there was no record. What do you do? So instead of doing that, why don't you also take paper, open your notebook, and be taking down notes? Okay. I know of a particular senior here some time ago when he was writing reports. So you have audio recording. Okay, and I think I've shared this with some colleagues, and it's better I share it here. You have the audio recording. So before the audio recording starts, it starts with 00, like the seconds. He will note the time. 2 times the time as in the time of the day, and then the 00 as in the recording device. So when they mention a point, that is worth putting in the report. He knows the hour, the minute, the second, and write something that will remind him. Okay? And then when he comes to write the report, he doesn't need to play the whole thing 3 hours. He simply skips to those places that he took notes of. Listen to it, get a clearer understanding of what happened there, and then he scribbles the notes and types it out. But if you don't do this, you have to go and sit down and listen the entire unnecessary things. Oh, sorry. You will listen to things you don't want to put in the report. But if you took notes and you took the, you actually know where to rewind or where to forward to in your audio file. Unfortunately, now you have digital recording tools. The time is there. Unlike, you have audio record, you have YouTube video to support you. Those days, they were what, cassette? You know the cassette, the magnetic tape, that thing, that long thing, and it was rewinding and forwarding was difficult. So you can actually go to the exact second, and then take your plus or minus 5 seconds. Then you play there, and then you write the notes out. So you can complement the technical tool of AI by using your human ingenuity to assist you to get your work done. And lastly, I agree with Deputy Director ICT, and is that there's a need to develop an AI policy. Yes, there should be some guidelines on how much AI you want to use. Do you want to use AI to assist us in transcription? Do you want to use it to assist us in note-taking? Do you want to use us in writing reports? How do you want to, we can even use AI to keep records. So at what level do you want to use AI? So if we agree on these things, and then who is responsible for what? Who should assist in procuring it? How do we get it? How do we get updates? How do we get renewing the licenses and everything? Once we have everything spelled out and it is approved by the management or the board, then we are good to go. We can start using it. Thank you so much.
Please, yes, question.
Thank you very much, Alaji. The use of AI, does it have any adverse effect on creativity? And what are the side effects of prolonged usage?
All right. Can I just take that? I think that is it. Or is
Any more questions? Okay. There's no question.
Okay, so side effect of AI. Definitely everything has side effect. So there will be side effect. People believe that it affects the person's, is it cognitive what? Cognitive ability. The ability to, you see, look, let's not even go AI. Those days, there were no mobile phones. People were able to memorize phone numbers. You see, phone numbers. Okay, if I sit here and I mention 680-104-130, that's my index number, secondary school. Yes, that's my. If I mention, but now, it's so apart from maybe your spouse, you don't remember anybody's phone number. It's because of, let me put in quotes, AI. AI has taken over our phone books. So it takes the record, and then we don't want to. After all, I can always access it. In fact, if the phone is even lost, once you are able to sign in, then your iPhone or Android, you can get your contacts back. So you don't need to memorize the numbers. So it actually affects our cognitive ability. And then when people are given maybe speeches to write or proposals to write, they just go there, ask, what the name? Is it price? The name of the company? Deloitte is a very big company. And they do audit, they write reports, they do things for people. And then they were given an assignment, they decided to use AI without humanizing it. And then, and you know, now people can easily do, I don't even know why people are even starting with G-Tech. You can use technology to help you do your PAD fast, and you get your PAD. But you go to MMC. So please, let me end on this one. I was part of the map. I was supposed to talk about real-time reporting, and there are two ways. The real-time reporting is supposed to be one: either you use a note-taking that will give you live transcripts. But the other part of real-time reporting is where a number of people are writing on a report at the same time. So take, for instance, appointment committee. They vetted 6 members, and you are going to produce one report. So somebody can be writing on nominee A, somebody will be doing B, somebody will be doing C. So there are actual platforms that you can all work. And then when you finish, it puts everything nicely together. So those dashboards, let's engage with IT. Tell them as a lay person, this is how we want. And they will advise you on the tool to go. And then if you are handicapped with it, then you learn, or you get some person to train you in it, and then you can use it, so that it will make our work fast. Look, Parliament, nothing is more interesting than to be on top of your job. You see, you don't get frustrated when you're on top of your job. You get it. It's just like we all wrote exams. You see, when you go and all the questions are within your comfort zone, you don't sweat. You just write and come out, and you can even predict your grade. But when you go to exams for question 1, you've forgotten. 2, 3, up to 5, you've forgotten. You will be sweating when the AC is on. So please, let's learn tools, as I said, that will assist us in our work. But let us always remember that AI or any other software or technological tool is a servant, not a master. It shouldn't replace you. It should only assist you. Thank you.
Colleagues, you agree with me that the 2 presentations we had this morning actually has exposed us to so many things that we didn't know. And we would like to thank the LMS boss for this practice and procedure week. Let's give it to the And we're very happy that this platform has given us a lot. Thankfully, we have the rep from ICT around. We can't do without the AI now. But if you want to use it, we've been advised to liaise with them to see which one will be suitable for the work and environment with which we find ourselves. And when we deploy it, we'll be on top of our job. Thank you very much for coming. I've been your moderator, J.K. Tuglo. I'll call on the MC to take over from here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I would like to thank our moderator, Mr. John Kofi Tuglo. We'd also like to thank Mr. Benjamin Tichanti Edu and Alhaji Adam Idrisu for the insight and the learning. We believe that technology is here to stay. It's a rallying call for all of us, especially the LMS staff. We believe that technology, digital tools, and AI are not going to end. They're either going to get better, but we'll have to learn, relearn, and unlearn. Because if we are not able to adapt and adopt, like Alhaji Adam mentioned, we might find ourselves in trouble. A friend intending to go on a solo drive inputted his location as Lome, Togo. Unfortunately, Google took him to Gomoa Lome in the central region. So if we are not able to use them as appropriate, we might end up doing something we are not supposed to do. We'd like to thank all of you for your time, for your questions, your contributions, and everything. Thank you very much. Can you give yourselves a round of applause? Hopefully tomorrow, the meeting here, same time, for another wonderful session. We'd like to invite our brother, Alhaji Arimial, to say the closing prayer for us. So we would entreat all of us to be here on time tomorrow at 9 for the start of tomorrow's workshop. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. That's our greetings. Okay, shall we be in the mood for prayer? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين